Right. Good morning. It's High Priestess Jamila. And I wanted to have a discussion this morning. How are y'all? Happy Thursday. I wanted to come and have a serious discussion about coffin wishes, is what we're going to call it, which is essentially death wishes, death spells, um, death work, and when they are justified. Okay, I'm going to give my honest opinion of this. I also want to talk about false sexual accusations, people making false rape claims, grape claims, and things of that nature. And what else did I put in the title? Hold on. I'm sorry. I can't remember what I put in my own title. Okay. I should be back. And obsessions. I wanted to come and talk about that. And where do I start with this discussion? Um, First of all, I'm gonna have a whole total separate conversation about this, about the constant hatred for witches and witchcraft, because it's not just witches. If I were Christian, I would feel the same exact way and I would have the same exact opinion, just like anybody else. And I wanted to give my honest opinion of coffin wishes. It's when you wish that someone was unalived. I want to talk about that for a minute. I'm going to start this off by saying that I personally believe that when a person means you a significant amount of harm and is trying to cause you a significant amount of harm, I believe that you are justified in wishing for that person's demise. I don't believe in playing around with life. I believe that there are things that people can do, actions that people can take that can be detrimental to a person's well being. And I also believe that there are certain actions that people can take to take away your life. And I feel like if you're looking at it with a very broad and wide view, like if you're looking at a situation that is happening and you can see what the negative effects that an action of another person can have on you, I believe that coffin wishes are perfectly fine. Which leads me into people making false sexual accusations. You know, in some states, making a false grape claim, especially to the police, can actually land you with up to 20 years in prison. There is a reason why false sexual allegations can lead to prison time, and that is because they can ruin another person's life. The person that you are making those accusations for towards, which I'm pretty sure that there have been a lot of males that have went through this, especially because of the pressure of women maintaining their chastity. So I feel like throughout history, there have been a lot of mainly men who have been falsely accused of rape, and it has not been the truth. This can have a devastating effect. It's very immoral. Now, I do know that there is the gray area of, um, there's a gray area of consent that I'm not going to get into. I'm talking about somebody that literally sets somebody up. And this, so the reason why it is a crime, if you look it up, there have been many, many, many women in the past year that are doing time right now in prison for filing false grape allegations against men. It is awful. It is horrible. It is disgraceful for you to falsely accuse somebody of a sex crime. You should never do that. That can be devastating to a person's spirit. It can ruin a person's reputation, make them lose their job, ruin their life. It's a very stressful situation to go through. Trust me, I would have never thought in a million years that I would go through that, but I did. And this includes telling lies about people in social media. In my humble opinion, if you lie on somebody and claim that, even if you are bearing false witness, I believe that you deserve to perish. I do. I don't believe that you are a person that deserves the air that you breathe. It's just the type of person that I am. I know that there's a lot of people that are probably more tolerant than some people. For me, that is unacceptable, especially when you are literally trying to use that to ruin somebody's life or to hurt them, and you're not telling the truth about the person. So I believe that when a person does that and they never come clean about it, they never actually tell the truth about it, I believe that you could very easily be hit up with some coffin work. And more than likely, it will work on you. More than likely, it will. You literally set that person up for their lives to be ruined. You literally brought a bunch of stress and strain and pain and agony to an innocent person that did not hurt you. You literally did not think about what is this going to do to this person's life. There have been people, innocent people, who have lost their lives, i.e. Emmett Till, who have lost their, and I'm not talking about the racism portion of it. I'm not even, I'll just bring him up because I think it's very interesting. There have been a lot of people that have lost their lives that have been innocent because of this. There have been people that have lied in the community on a person, and that person has been unalived and they are innocent. When you are bearing false witness against somebody, in particular, when it comes to a sexual allegation, you are not only placing that person at risk for malnourishment, death, poverty, failure in life, but you are also putting their children at risk, and you are also exploiting actual real victims of those crimes. That is something that an immoral person is not going to care about. But you know what? Somebody that has morals, they're going to stand up and they're going to fight. And you know what? If you're lying about things like that within the community on a person, but you haven't actually reported it to the police because there's no evidence, never have been any evidence because you know you lying, then guess what? I believe that that person has every right to do coffin work on you. I believe that you deserve to leave this planet. No, I do not believe that you deserve to live. If people don't agree with that, that's fine with me. Okay. Because you know what? I'm an empath. And I'm gonna tell you something. Being an empath, I can always call down people that lack empathy. There are some people that don't even have empathy. If you can't understand why a person would feel the way that I feel about something like that, then I don't know what to tell you. You lack empathy. That is horrible. Also, another thing, a sexual allegation, when you think about the energy of sex, when you think about, let's say, let me tell you something. When you do that to someone, especially a woman, you know, men are going to treat her differently. You could potentially be literally ruining the rest of that person's life. People don't know how to discern the truth. Just the negative energy that comes with a sexual allegation that is not the truth, where there is no evidence, where literally it's a lie. Literally it's a lie that's made up. For you to do something like that in my opinion, you are setting that person up for failure, for murder. It's going to make that person, it's going to make it more difficult for that person to find a job. You are trying to literally ruin that person's life and possibly the lives of their offspring. In my humble opinion, and I believe that I am in good company on this, you obviously don't want to live. You obviously do not take your life seriously to lie on someone like that. And I believe that the world would be better off without you in it. That's me. If people get mad at me, listen, I'm a Cancer son. I'm very brutally honest. I would feel the same way if something happened to a male, if somebody were to accuse any of my children, in particular my sons, of sexual assault. I would feel the same exact way. You don't just blase and, during tea and crumpets, start spreading rumors like that about people. You better think about what you're doing, because you know what? I am not the only one that feels this way. I believe that karma feels this way. I believe that God feels this way. I believe that the devil agrees with what I'm saying. I believe that the universe believes in what I am saying. You do not do that. You can potentially be literally ruining another person's life that is innocent. 20 years in prison is not enough. I believe that if a person goes to the police knowing that they're lying about a sexual assault, I believe that life, I believe that life in prison is more fitting. I do not believe, and you know what? You can say whatever you want to say about me. Hey, I can't help it. I keep my crown on top of my head. I can't help who I am. I have very stern beliefs about things like that. I believe that here's another thing. These psychics out here trying to say that they saw somebody doing something just so that they can what? Steal. Steal business from people. I believe that if you are out here and you're psychic and you're saying, "Oh, I saw this in spirit and I saw somebody having sex with an underage person," and you do it because you know that you're lying, you do it for personal gain. I believe that you deserve coffin work done on you. I don't care how good of a psychic you are. That doesn't mean that you have morals. Doesn't mean that you have morals. You're still trying to ruin somebody's life, trying to use your spiritual gifts. I believe that spirit gonna get you. I believe spirit gonna get you. Just something that tells me that. Now, I wanted to also talk about obsessive people, people that have obsessions. I believe that people that have obsessions deserve coffin work. You know why? Especially when you're dealing with an empath or somebody that is tapped into spirit. There are people out here that have real spiritual gifts of telepathy. There are people that have gifts of that they're very sensitive, very empathic, and then here you come with an obsession chanting this person's name. You are annoying. You are purposely trying to do harm to that person because you know that they're spiritually gifted. And you know what you're trying to do? You're trying to cause stress and strain to that person. You know what stress and strain does to a person? It could potentially hurt their heart. You know what you're trying to do whenever you try to hurt somebody's heart? You're trying to cause death to that person. You are a very dangerous person. You don't have control over your own mind. You are comparable to a roach, And I believe that you deserve coffin work done on you. Especially out here in the spiritual community where you got so many people that are empaths, you got so many people that are telepaths, and you running around here every day, neener, 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 or you're trying to practice witchcraft, even though we know you don't have no real connection to the craft. Not really. Because witches that have witchcraft in their blood they know how to use it responsibly usually. You running around here all over the place trying to meditate, trying to mess with somebody, always harassing somebody. You are obsessive. I believe that you deserve coffin work done on you. You are purposely trying to cause stress and strain to people. And that's just what I believe. Okay? That's just what I believe. And especially if people can see you doing it. And so I don't have any guilt. You know, you guys, when you hear me say die, 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 I don't have any guilt. Now, let me tell you, in cases where you can't do coffin work, if somebody stops talking to you, if somebody unfriends you, if somebody doesn't agree with something that you say, if someone is maybe telling the truth about something that you're doing, you're lying on them and they're speaking the truth. You're not justified to do any coffin work. There's the difference between being an adult and being a childish person. If a person says, I don't want to talk to you, I'm done with the friendship, and they have a good reason to do so, you then do not have the right to become a threat to that person. That's when you're not justified. When somebody is walking away from you and saying, hey, I'm walking away, and you're chasing behind that person, and you know you shouldn't be doing it, that is considered to be stalking. You deserve coffin work done on you immediately. And I think that people should not let it get out of hand. When you see a person is problematic, out the gates. Oh, it's been at least 3 months and this person won't walk away. Okay, this person wants to keep running behind me. Break out the coffin, break out the graveyard dirt. We got a live one here. This person don't know when to say when. This person don't know when it's time to take a bow and walk away from a person. I don't care who it is. Now, obviously, a romantic relationship is going to be a lot different. Typically, when you are in love with somebody or you love someone, that's different. Okay. It doesn't mean that a male or a female can stalk a man or a woman for several years or even a year or even 6 months. But it is different. Friendships, somebody decides to not be friends with you anymore, doesn't give you the right to say, oh, well, then this person needs to die. You know what I'm saying? That's when you have to say, you know what? I'm going to walk away from the situation. I'm going to be responsible and walk away. But in the other incidences that I'm talking about, if a person threatens your life and says, I am going to come over First of all, they're stalking you, right? And they say, I am going to come over and unalive you. You have the right at that moment to do coffin work on that person. You don't need to feel bad about it. If somebody says, hey, I want to unalive you, at that moment, you have the right to say, hey, this person is a threat to me. This person is a threat to me. If a person ever threatens you, violence towards you, yeah, okay. If you don't agree with that, that's fine. I don't mind doing it. Somebody threatened violence towards me. Somebody threatens my life, threatens to take my life. Somebody not files, but somebody does a false sexual allegation against me and claim that I took advantage of them. Any of those things, anybody that's obsessive, anybody that's constantly trying to be in my energy, anybody stalking me is definitely getting coffin work done on them, and you deserve it. And I can say that straight up and down. I wouldn't be the only one. Who in this world just lays down and becomes a victim for anybody? Nobody. That is very stressful. Now, a lot of people say, well, do this and do that. No, this person is a threat to your life. If somebody is psychically attacking you, energy harvesting off of you, they deserve coffin work. Psychic attacks are something that we take very seriously over here. It's not like, oh, I'm getting psychically attacked. Do y'all know how many people I have spoken to that were being psychically attacked that literally had to go to the hospital? That literally thought that they were going to die, that had such a bad panic or anxiety attack that they had tachycardia, blood pressure was elevated. Do you know that psychic attacks can literally kill somebody? So if you're just, oh, let me psychically attack somebody, neener, 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 you are a problem. You have a problem, and coffin work must be done on you. This is just, y'all may say, oh, well, Jamila, it's moral to die for other people. It's a very moral, Christ-like thing to be uncomfortable and to struggle and to be under duress and under stress for another person. I don't agree with you. If you are a person that is causing stress on a continuous basis to another person, you are dangerous and you need to be dealt with. That's how I feel. You can say, oh, well, but it's not, oh, that's so evil. Okay, but it's not evil for people to purposely try to do death plots against people and put people's lives in jeopardy and in danger. So we supposed to be Jesus and die for the assholes of the world? I don't think so. I don't agree with that. And you're never going to convince me of it. You're never going to say, well, Jamila, you know, think about what Christ would do. Uh no, I don't have to think about what Jesus Christ would do. And that's just what that is. I don't have to think about that. I'm going to think about what I would do. What I would do if you are a direct threat to me is I am going to go to my darkest spirits and ask them to make sure that before you ever do anything to harm me or the people that I love, that you fall down in a ditch. Period. That goes for energy harvesting as well. Energy harvesting is a very, very real thing. I have actually experienced that before. I've actually experienced parasitic, paranormal type of psychic attacks before. It's awful. It's horrible. It's horrible. If people consider it to be evil to defend yourself, I have issue with people that feel that anybody should just lay down and be their victim. I take issue with that. That's like the definition of a sociopath. Somebody that expects to be able to berate a person, constantly come down on a person, constantly being judgmental, being impossible, just abusing a person for no reason. What kind of mindset do you have where you feel like that person can't say anything? They're not supposed to say anything back to you. They're not supposed to say anything to you. What planet do you live on? Which one did you come from? You come from a planet where somebody's just gonna yell in somebody's face, scream and yell at them, and about nothing, literally just to be abusive, and the person is just supposed to sit there and take it. And they're not supposed to process it or anything. They're not supposed to talk about it or anything. They're not supposed to defend themselves or anything. So now we got people that want people to just sit and suffer in silence while they berate them. And that's not the way human beings should be carrying on. So yeah, I do believe in death magic. I do, and I do believe that there are some people that deserve to die. That's just what it is. And I have no empathy in my heart for people that do things continuously to do harm to people, whether or not you're trying to harm that person's health, their reputation, their family, their job, any type of harm that you're trying to do to a person, especially when that person was not the aggressor, especially when that person has said, okay, let's walk away. We didn't agree. We had a disagreement. We had an argument 10, 12, 11, 15, 20, 30 years ago. Let's walk away from it. And then here you are self destructive enough to continue to come towards that person, and you just keep coming at that person, coming at that person. You know what? I don't, everybody ain't no witch, but I do believe in energy, and I do believe in negative energy. So if you're bringing that type of negative energy to a person and you're doing it, especially if you're doing it cyclically, yeah, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit, and you play stupid games and you win stupid prizes is what I believe about that. Okay? Stress is a killer. You know that the number one cause of every disease on this planet that humans suffer from is caused by stress. Most of the diseases, most of the things that kill people, in particular heart disease, is caused by stress. When you see a person trying to avoid stress, Obviously, they want to avoid stress, but yet you keep thrusting stressful situations at them and trying to send them negative energy. You deserve what you get. Okay. So if you don't agree with that, you don't have to agree with that. You don't. But like I said, you can be delusional all you want and, expect for people to to be like this Christ-like figure that you're supposed to beat the hell out of them and nail them to a cross and they're just supposed to die for you. You are in a delusion. You are. You're in a delusion. Okay. Nobody has to do that. So I wanted to come and say that. And I may be a hard cookie to swallow. Doesn't make me evil. Does anybody think that I'm sure that there's some people that think it's crazy how people will think that you're evil just for defending yourself. I don't even think that they think that. I think that it's some kind of MK Ultra mind trick that they're trying to do. Oh, you're evil for defending yourself. Oh, really? Okay. Okay. So I'm just supposed to be your doormat and your kicking post and excuse me? So people already know that you are feisty. People already know that you're not the type of person that's just going to let them kick you around. So then they'll say, okay, well, you know what? Let me be a complete butthole every single day as much as I can towards that person. You deserve coffin work. Straight up and down, especially when you're on like it's almost like you're on a mission. It's like you're on a mission. If you're a person that is just bullying somebody spiritually, here's another thing. I'm going to talk about this later. I ran across Maya Angelou's YouTube channel and it was very disturbing because nobody really wants to discuss Bible curses. Everybody just wants to say witchcraft, witchcraft, witchcraft. Okay, fine. If you are constantly berating and abusing a person and that person is not defending themselves, because you can tell, okay, you can pretty much tell when somebody's doing that to you. Every single day every single day or just when you feel like it, you're going to just throw a bunch of negative energy at a person just whenever you feel like it. Oh, I'm having a bad day, let me take it out on this person. um and I've actually heard people recently say, well, I'm not a person of morals. Wow. Wow. Do you even know what morals mean? You're not a person of morals. Wow. Glad I don't know you. Would not want to be around a person that has no morals at all. I am a person of morals. I treat people the way that I want them to treat me. I've always been that way. I've always been a fair person. So when people are attacking me, they are literally being buttholes. So for me, if you're doing anything to try to hurt me or my loved ones, that's how I feel about you. I feel like you're a problem. I feel like you're a bully, a very hateful and spiteful person. And I feel like if you have an inability to just leave that person alone, I feel like you deserve everything that you get, including losing your life. If a person has set out to just ruin another person's life, coffin work. Oh, I just want to follow you around and I'm going to make you my target so I can ruin your life. You deserve coffin work. Okay? And you know what? If people don't like it, then I guess you've never been bullied. I guess you've never been spiritually abused. You've never been spiritually abused. You've never had anybody abuse their power over you. You've never had prolonged and purposeful attacks on you. So you can't understand how it feels to be somebody's target that needs to go and reevaluate their life. Somebody that is destructive. Somebody that is depressed and sad and self-loathing and hateful and mean and diabolical and bitter. You must not have ever been through that, as well as being an empath at the same time. So you really can't understand that. I wouldn't wish that on you. I wouldn't wish that. Well, I would wish it on my worst enemy. I would. I'm not even going to lie to you. But I wouldn't wish that on a person, even if you said, well, Jamila, I don't agree with you. It's okay for you to not agree with me right now. If you don't agree with me, you're, hey, I don't have no hatred or nothing for you. I don't. Because it's okay for people to not agree. You can say, well, I don't agree with that. Okay. But that's how I feel about the situation. Anytime you make it a purpose, you make your purpose trying to destroy the peace of others. And you know what? You can ask, and especially the Mercurians will tell you. I have a Virgo moon. My chart is filled with Mercury, filled with it. And they are very matter of fact about that. That you just keep bothering somebody, in particular a person that's being spiritually attacked. Now let's talk about spiritual attacks that are meant to psychically attack a person's mind, body, spirit, and heart. I have been through this. I have been there, done that with clients, to where not only have I seen the attacks, but I felt them. I felt them myself because I'm an empath. This was before I did a lot of protection on myself to make sure that I could see it more than feel it because I'm an empath. That stuff can kill a person. That stuff can really, really, really drive a person to madness. It can really, really, really destroy a person's health and their life. You got some person that has figured out, well, I'm a psychopath, but since I'll go to prison, if I actually try to do bodily or physical harm to people, I'm going to develop my psychic gifts so that I can hurt people. And I've seen people do that. I've seen people in groups doing that to other people. Several people at once, at the same time. It's awful. It's horrible. What's the point of it? Just to be cruel, just to be evil towards somebody. One thing that I figured out about people is that they love to pick on people that they think is not going to defend themselves. I honestly, when I look at this world, sometimes it makes me sad when I think about helpless little children or either elderly people elderly people that can't defend themselves. It saddens me. It literally, like, I don't have time to be sad these days, but I mean, this world, the people in this world that are just unbelievably cruel. You know, I used to want to be a police officer because I don't like bad people in general. I don't like bad people who like to get over on people. I don't like bad people that like to terrorize people. I don't like that kind of behavior. I like peace. I like harmony. I like happiness. I like family. I'm very family oriented. I've had way too many clients with children, with families under attack. Seen it way too much. Seen it way too much. It's heartbreaking. It is how evil people can be. So I don't feel sorry for people that just randomly do cruel things like that to people. I want to get into this and then I'm going to go. Do I feel like negative karma is going to come to me because of that? Nope, I don't. Not at all. No, somebody trying to ruin your life, somebody trying to hurt you, and you know it for a fact, and they have made it abundantly clear that they are going to try to take you down and ruin your entire life and existence. Oh, I would never feel guilt. I would never feel guilt for doing coffin work on that person. And I've been in this on this earth for 48 years, and you know what? I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of bad things happening to good people. I'm tired of that. And what I consider to be good may be different from somebody else's opinion of what is good. You know what? A good person doesn't bother anybody. A good person is focused on the things that they enjoy doing. A good person is focused on their family, or if they don't have a family or children, they have their animals, they have their dogs, they have their cats, birds, whatever it is, snakes, whatever they like, iguanas, rabbits, hamsters, whatever they like. If they like to ride horses or go for a walk, go mountain climbing, whatever it is, that person is not bothering anybody. Why are you just trying to disturb that person's peace? They have done nothing to you. I have a problem with people that decide, oh, I'm going to be a problem for that person. Why? Why would you want to be a problem for that person that has done nothing to you? And I don't feel guilty about that. I don't. And no, I heard somebody saying yesterday that because I'm not Christian, I have hell in my life. No, actually, first of all, that's going a lot far, because there are certain people, prototypes in this world, such as bad landlords, bad people that can injure people. So bad things happen to Christians all the time. What are you talking about? So are Christians the only people that deserve any kind of justice? I heard somebody saying that. I'm like, are you kidding me? Have you seen all of the people that are Christian that have went through things in life? was a very delusional thing to say, and it's just very gaslighty. Very gaslighty. Imagine that. And this person was literally amongst a gang stalking unit, a gang stalking group, trying to save. But while gang stalkers purposely are trying to induce hell into your life. And some of these gang stalkers are doing it for their religion. Well, I got news for you. You're very immoral. And God don't like that. Not even your God, because your God said that you not to judge not anyway. Your God said judge not. In fact, I believe that there's a verse in the Bible that says that you're supposed to pluck your eye out if you judge somebody else. I think it say something crazy like that. That has nothing to do judging somebody and saying, "Well, I got the right to do this." That has nothing to do with defending yourself. So we're just supposed to somebody just come into the room and just start beating us up, and we're not supposed to defend ourselves. Like, you know, the one thing about me is that I am a very real person. I am a realist. I tell the truth about stuff. I'm being perfectly honest and transparent about what I'm talking about. Keep in mind, prior to me coming out the broom closet and coming to the spiritual community, I always had a very quiet life. Very quiet, uneventful. Very. I don't go to jail. I don't fight out in the streets. So my peace is something that's very important to me. Okay, it is because people deserve it. So, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. I hope y'all have a good day. Happy Thursday. Okay. Leave a comment and let me know what you think about that. And make sure that y'all hit that thumbs up and share this video. I really would like to have more like-minded people on this channel. I think that it is crazy how this channel seems to be overrun with people that are just hate watching me and not people that actually think the same way or have the same views as me. That's just crazy. I'm not going to get into no conspiracy theories or anything, but you're not going to change how I feel. Okay. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Okay. Blessings. Bye bye.